even though he's going to direct Superman 3, which I wholeheartedly support. I'll miss him. You know, he's not going to do X-Men 3.
Yes.
He didn't know that. You didn't know that? No, Brian has withdrawn from that and is going to direct the new Superman movie. And he will be missed, but he's launched us spectacularly, so we're grateful for that. So you like directors for different reasons, you know. I mean, I just mentioned now David Jones, with whom I was going to do a theatre project in England, starting rehearsals in 3 weeks' time. It fell through. And one of the reasons I love working with David Jones is that David first directed me in 1967. So when you have a relationship like that with a director who's also an intimate friend, that's pure gold. You know, it doesn't matter, you know, if I would work with Steven Spielberg, it couldn't be like David, because, you know, when we're in the rehearsal room together, it's more than a partnership, you know. And in the theatre, probably the most distinguished living director of my time is Peter Brook, and I worked with him 3 times. Very, very closely, very intensely, and that was unforgettable. But then Trevor Nunn is somebody that I've worked with many, many times and admire. And I'm also always looking for new directors, you know, especially younger directors to work with that I don't know, because it's especially stimulating for older actors to work with, you know, with young blood. So I cannot give you an answer, so I'm sorry. The same territory again. I don't know any actors who can ever answer questions like that, because if I were to say this was the most favourite, it would somehow diminish everything else, and maybe even what lies ahead. There have been so many characters that I've loved, and characters that when I was playing them, I thought, there's never been anything as good as this. I look back to doing The Caretaker on Broadway in the winter, playing Davis, to playing Solness and The Master Builder in London in the summer. Great experiences, completely different. I mean, some of my happiest memories are playing George, who was playing Virginia Woolf in Edward Albee's masterpiece, and Shakespearean roles too, and roles on film. I'm lucky in that mostly these days I don't do something unless I really want to do it. It's a great blessing that I don't have to do whatever is offered to me. So I have that choice, and I only try to choose things. These days particularly, I like to choose things that I think have a possibility of affecting people significantly. And who knows, even in some tiny way changing the world. It's always been my ambition since I started acting. You know, performance can change the world. And, so that's the sort of thing that I'm looking for.
2 more quick things, real quick. First, maybe you'll be Lex Luthor in Superman 3.
I'm the only one who didn't understand the question.
Maybe you'll be Lex Luthor in Superman 3.
You know, come on, seriously, it's unlikely, isn't it? I've already got 2 franchises hanging around my head. It's unlikely that they would. Anyway, what was the other one?
And since you're not busy, we're having turkey at my place.
Turkey, good, healthy eating. Unfortunately, I have to be on a plane in 3.5 hours from now. But thank you for the invitation. Yes, sir.
Not this time when Michael Dorn was here, but the last time he was here, he was explaining that when he was behind you, he used to pretend that your head was an ashtray. And he used to pretend that he screwed the top of your skull up and put a cigarette and grease-screwed your top of your head. I was just wondering if there's anything, I think it's ironic that he beat you with the bumps on his head making fun of your skull. If there's any stories you have about him, and is there any chance that we can get you to do a little bit of Shakespeare for us today?
You reminded me that there was something else that I had to apologize for. Which was exposing you all to Michael Dorn. LeVar is another matter. I mean, LeVar is a class act. Dorn. Yes, it's true, he did do the ashtray gag. He used to pretend to break eggs as well, and then do sizzling noises. Yeah, it was all very, very funny. And, you know, the fact that, like so many of my colleagues, Dawn also has nothing in his life, I was happy to go along with it. It amused him for a few minutes. And, you know, it didn't hurt me. One of the things, actually, moments before I walked on stage, I was talking to Brent Spiner, because Brent and Dawn and Marina are heading for London in a few days' time, and we were making our plans. We have 2 nights when they're not working and I'm free, and oh my, I cannot tell you how much I'm looking forward to this time. I see Brent, of course Jonathan Frakes now lives in London, and that's wonderful for me because I see him regularly. Brent I see a lot, and Marina too. Dawn I don't see enough, and LeVar I only see occasionally, and whenever we get together, these are just highlights in my year. They're the best people in the world. Well, there was this thing we used to... I'm sure you know that Dawn giggles. He giggles like a girl. I know that is the sexiest thing to say, but he giggles like a girl. And he sweats when he giggles, and it all runs out under his turtle. and so, usually on a Friday, we were shooting on the bridge. And there was a basic system that all the directors used, I used it, that you would start out by doing a master of a scene, camera way back, shooting the whole bridge, everybody in it, and then you would do coverage or close-ups, working from the view screen backwards or forwards into the bridge, which was great for LeVar during the days that he was at Con, and Brent, of course, at Ops, because they would get shot out quite early on. In other words, the camera would have passed them, so that meant they could change. They could get out of makeup, they could get into their ordinary clothes the moment we were out, they could go. And if I or whoever was feeling really generous, I would say, you know, I don't need you for off-camera lines, let Cosmo read in, you can go on, you know. But what this always meant was that the last person to be covered was Dawn. He was standing up there on the horseshoe, pretending he was. And occasionally there would be somebody else with him, but as all the rest of us got to learn this procedure, we made darn sure that for the last scene of the night, we were never up on the horseshoe on the bridge. Otherwise, you'd be in costume and makeup with Dawn. So, a point would arise at which the only person left on the set in costume would be Michael. And, and we would all change. You know, we'd be in jeans and maybe even grab a beer or something. And it would come to Michael's covering. And we would be there, we would always be there. And the very first thing we would do is we would publicly take bets on how many takes Michael would need to do in order to get his dialogue right. Because he had his teeth, you see, and the teeth made him stumble over the lines. In addition, we would shamelessly try to make him laugh. And so there'd be this little pool going on of how many takes would it go on find it to get through. Captain. Fighting pot faces. Hours sometimes. Oh, happy days. he would say, and they would roll camera, and he'd be completely composed, totally composed, and you'd think, he's going to do it. He'd be completely composed. And the director would say, and action, Michael, and he'd go. You're a gold. So I can take all this crap about acting. Yes, what is?
I was going to ask, first of all, had you had a lot of exposure to comic books before you became Professor Xavier? And if you had a superpower, what would it be?
I was brought up on comic books, but not the kind of comic books I suspect that you're thinking of. I was brought up, there's got to be a few Brits here who, of my generation who might remember the Beano, film fun, radio fun. We're going back before television now. Radio fun. The Eagle. Down there. Nikon. I always thought I could play the Nikon, you know? No? Not green enough. And then I moved on. Those were picture comic books. But no, they were comic papers, weren't they? They weren't comic books like today. And then I had the reading ones that didn't have pictures, like Hotspur. Oh, there was another one, Dandy. Anybody remember Dandy? Yeah. But Hotspur and Adventure were weekly reading books, and I kind of progressed to those when I didn't need pictures anymore. Other than that, I had not looked at a comic book in my life until Lauren Schuler-Donner, in her office at Warner Brothers one day, she'd asked me to come in and see her. I was doing ADR on one of her husband's movies, and she came in and she said, do you recognize this? And she held up this comic book across her desk, and I said, what am I doing on the front of a comic book? That's not you. That's Professor Xavier. That's where it all began. Other people will tell you that they cast me, but actually it was Laura who had me.
And your superpower? If you had a superpower, what would it be?
Supercar?
No, if you had a superpower, if you were a superhero.
A superpower?
Yeah, what would your power be?
Well, I have a sort of serious answer to this and a less serious one. I would like to have some of Magneto's power. I would love to be able to just remove that car from in front of me that is doing 45 miles. I guess I would like, now after these last few weeks, I'd like to see everybody working out. In some way. I mean, because the thing about working out is, you only just need to walk for 20 minutes, gently. You don't have to, power down the street. And it would just be very good for all of us. Yes, sir.
What was your favorite Next Generation episode and your favorite Next Gen movie?
Well, we're back in this favorite thing. I like different episodes for different reasons. I liked some because they were acting challenges, specific acting challenges, like Chain of Command, 1 and 2. Inner Light, thank you very much. Thank you. Inner Light, because it was a challenge, and it was also a brilliant script too, and also my son.